Bright suns, fellow nerds, collectors, and super friends, Pakman the Paknerd here. And first, I'd like to wish everyone a happy Star Wars Day, as today is May the 4th. Also, I want to thank each and every one of you for clicking on this video. It really means a lot to me. This is a brand new channel that I have created to explore all the nerd things that I enjoy. Now, I'm not new to YouTube, as I have another channel called Pakman 502 with a show I call Exfil Adventures. And on that channel, we go on adventures, we travel, and we eat a lot of food. So if that's something that interests you, go ahead and click the link below. But this channel will explore a lot of nerd-related topics in pop culture. This is something I've always wanted to do, but can never find a way to go about starting it. So I decided to create an entirely new channel for this, and I figure the best way to start this channel is to do a tour of my collection. Then you, the viewer, can get an idea of what we could talk about in the future. And what better day to start a new channel about nerd culture than today, Star Wars Day. So majority of my collection is upstairs in my office, but we do have some stuff down here and some stuff in the living room. So we're gonna look at this first before we go upstairs. And this is where we keep all of our Disney stuff, because me and my lady are huge Disney fans. That's where we keep all the Mickey and Friends. We have a bunch of Happy Meal toys and some stuff from the Disney store and Disney parks. And then down here on the next level, if you ever go to the Disney store, you've seen these figure packs. These are basically different figure play sets. We have quite a few. We have a lot of these. Then the next shelf down is her favorite, Stitch.
How?
There's a lot of Stitch Pops out there. And we don't really collect Pops anymore because we just don't. It got out of hand very fast. But there's plenty of Stitch Pops, and since our favorite Stitch, we still buy those. And my favorite is the Genie from Aladdin. So there's quite a bit of Genie stuff down here.
10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck.
And then we also like the Disney Pixar movie Cars. So we have all the Radiator Springs Friends, as well as a few others, including the Pope Mobile back there. And then down here is just a bunch of dolls and Genie with his tourist outfit hanging with the ladies. That's our pen board. We don't really have very many pens, but this is what we do have. And if you want to take a closer look, go ahead and pause right now. And then we also used to collect these Disney keys, which have become very popular lately and go for quite a pretty penny. At least these two definitely do. And then there's Donald, as well as a Star Wars one, because why not? You know me, Star Wars, gotta have it. There's another one coming out this year. It's red for today, actually, for May the 4th. But yeah, we stopped with the keys too, because just like Pops, it got out of hand really fast. And of course, with COVID and everything, the stores closing down, it was just harder and harder to get a hold of these keys, so we just quit doing it. But I think I am going to get these two framed for her, because we have a Disney themed Mickey and Minnie kitchen. And then down here is our Nintendo stuff. You can see we have a bunch of the Mario Karts, little Hot Wheel cars, and then it's kind of like a mix of different things in the back. And now let's go upstairs to see the rest of it. So I guess we're going to start over here and work our way down that way. Right here we have some Hot Wheels of some DC characters, mostly Batman obviously. And of course, Disney. The Fab Five, Genie, Stitch. And some of our other favorites. Kingdom Hearts. Most of those are SH Figuarts. There's a couple Diamond Select. Then Diamond Select Muppets. And then there's some lightsaber pins in there. I'll show you those. These are all pins of the hilts to these lightsabers. And this top shelf is a bunch of miscellaneous random things, but it's actually a Universal shelf because we go to Universal and we love it, and all these characters can actually be found there at Universal Studios. And continuing with the Universal theme, down below that we have a Harry Potter shelf. There's not very much on there, unfortunately. I wish there was actually more, but we have a couple dragons, some wands, some of the McFarlane figures, and then the SH Figure Arts Harry. And below Harry Potter is Pokemon. Now, the Pokemon is very random. I don't collect every single Pokemon. Most of the ones I collect either belong to Ash or are Pokemon that me or my girlfriend would like to claim as ours if Pokemon were real, if that makes any sense. Yeah. And my other stipulation is they have to be somewhat to scale with each other, which is very hard to do, actually. There's not very many Pokemon that are to scale with the 6-inch crowd of figures. And Universal also has Jurassic Park and Jurassic World properties. So I put those right there next to them. And of course, you know, they're really big, so they need the space for it, especially the T-Rex and the Brachiosaur. And Mattel has really surprised me with the Amber Collection. I really love the Raptors. Gotta have the classic cars from the ride. Need to get a T-Rex right here over top of them. That'd be pretty cool. And this is not an Amber Collection, but it is blue from the new movies. Of course, the Jeeps. Indoraptor. That's the Walmart T-Rex with the battle scars. And that is the Raptor from the first movie. Has an Amber Collection. And just below Jurassic is these two shelves, and they have a lot of stuff on them, but we're gonna start over here. This is my Game of Thrones shelf, and you know what? Screw the haters. I still really enjoy some Game of Thrones. Even with how season 8 turned out, I can get over it. Why? Because dragons! And I finally have all 3, technically 4 if you count the ice one, of the McFarlane dragons. Okay, and below the Game of Thrones is this shelf. And there's not much on this shelf, but there is Mr. Miyagi and Johnny Lawrence and LaRusso from the Karate Kid. Which, if you haven't watched Cobra Kai, you should definitely go watch Cobra Kai. It's a really good show.
The reason we learn karate is
to show the world that you're not a bunch of pansy-ass nerds.
I have the new Digimon toys, the Shodan figures. I think that's what they're called. I'm not really sure. But they're more impressive than I thought they'd be. I only have the first 3. Got those from Barnes & Nobles. So I need to be on a lookout for the others. And I have a couple pops here behind Wing Gundam. And it's Figment. If you know who Figment is, it's because you are a Disney nerd. And of course, Stan the Man. Had to have some kind of Stan Lee pop. And these, I skipped over these a minute ago because it's Jay and Silent Bob pops. And if you look really close, Jay signed that one.
Where do you get those wonderful toys?
Of course, I had Digimon up above. There's some of the old school Digimon from the 90s. And I also have Joe and Mimi, which apparently seem to be very hard to get, according to a bunch of the Digimon groups I'm in. Unless you got the big giant box set from the 90s, you never got to get those. These are all the Digimon I have. I'm definitely missing quite a few. These are all from my childhood. None of this is new. More miscellaneous stuff. There's a Digivolving Garurumon. He just kind of stays like that because I lost the arms to the other style that it switches to. So he just stays in werewolf form. And of course, the Diamond Select Avatar The Last Airbender figures, which were very highly disappointing. I'm sad to say, because I really like Avatar and I want a cool toy line with Avatar characters. So far, nobody can give it to us. And then a random Pennywise. Now over to the Ninja Turtles. I have 2 shelves of Turtles. Got the tunes and the movies. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be buying very many more of these. I think I'm about done, except for the April O'Neils and Casey Jones for the tunes. Because, one, they're too damn expensive to be buying $60 2-packs every time. And also, very hard to find NECA Turtles, but I think I'm pretty happy with what I got. I have the 4 brothers, I got Shredder, I even got Rocksteady and Bebop back there. And all the pizza you can ever want for toys. Yeah, I have enough pizza to even give Lord Beerus some pizza over there.
Wise man say forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza.
Another shelf that I really love. Why? Because it's Looney Tunes. If you don't know, I worked at Six Flags as this guy right here. And that guy back there. So both of those guys were my best friends at Six Flags. It's kind of sad to see the news about Pepe, but I understand, I get it. Looney Tunes are kind of controversial anyway, but my love for it sprouts because of the job I had. And of course, Space Jam is still one of my all-time favorite movies. But I decided to put my Mafex Michael Jordan here on this shelf. It only seemed appropriate, right?
Michael!
And this is the desk where I do a bunch of various art projects and toy photography and different things. But above that is where all my Power Rangers are. And there's quite a few. I'm generally a Mighty Morphin fan, but I've been gradually getting into the other series. Unfortunately, Netflix took them all off on me as I was watching them. I was halfway through Dino Thunder. As I said, I'm a Mighty Morphin fan, so all this stuff up here is older figures. All the Rangers right there in the middle are SH Figuarts. The Zords are Legacy. And then I also have my old Green Ranger flip head and my old White Ranger flip head from when I was a kid. I think these came out in 1995. So imagine how long I've had these. That's why there's no shield on either of them, and the White Ranger's missing Saba. Of course, all of us who are Power Ranger fans in the 90s were big fans of Power Rangers because of this man right here.
Dragon Sword!
Jason David Frank. Got to meet him in Lexington. If you want to watch that video, there's a link at the top of the screen. Go ahead and click that now if you want to. Acquiring these SH Figuarts Power Rangers was a pain in the ass. That's why they're still here. I can't find myself to get rid of them, even though Hasbro now has the license and made some really kick-ass shit so far. We've already completed the original Mighty Morphin team. So much so that they're doing them again in metallic. But that's okay, we'll get Aisha, Adam, and Rocky head sculpts with those. And then this one down here is various other Rangers from Overtime and Lord Draken, the Ranger Slayer. Got the Zeo guys, a few in space, Astronema, the Psycho Rangers, Magna Defender, bunch of Red Rangers. But so far, the only team that has been completed from Hasbro is Mighty Morphin. So we look forward to more Zeo, more space. But come on now, give us Turbo. You gotta fill this gap right here. Now on to the Star Wars section of the room. And there's quite a lot in this little bitty spot. So let's dive in. The top shelf is mostly for the big stuff like my Slave 1 and my AT-AT. I also have my Revan and Malik up here as well. But I have decided to make this the Mandalorian side of the shelf because there are so many Mandalorians now. We have Boba Fett, Jango Fett, Loyalist, the Armorer, the Heavy Infantry, and of course Mando himself. Both versions, Beskar and not. There's Gideon. I took the sword from Gideon and put it in Mando's hand because, well, obvious reasons. And there's Cara Dune, Sabine, Luke, Ahsoka. I just like having these three with the baby. It's just fun. And when I get Bo-Katan, I'm going to put her up here as well. And since that Ahsoka is here and Sabine, of course the Rebels guys are all here as well. And then moving along, we have Thrawn, Vader, front and center at the very top of the shelf. I just have a lot of Vaders, so that's just where this one ended up. And Cal Kestis, Hondo Onaka, and of course we have the Duel of Fates right here on the shelf the probe droid in the back, and Cad Bane with Clone War General Obi-Wan Kenobi. And this is all the Black Series figures that I have for the heroes of the original movie. And of course, next to that is the lovely, lovely Empire with Vader Palpatine on his throne, Moff Tarkin. And below the original trilogy, of course, we have the next best thing. My personal favorite, actually, is the Clone War era, the prequels. So this shelf is mostly for Clone Wars, but we do have Jar Jar in there, and Padme is in her Episode 2 outfit, which is whatever. But come on, Hasbro, give us more Jedi. This cannot be it. We need more. Lots more. There is so many Jedi from the Clone Wars that this cannot be all. And this guy's only up here because his head's too big to fit down here. So, yeah. We need more ships too. Give us some more vintage ships. Reissue these guys. Here we have my prequel Sith shelf. It's pretty much what I call it. It's really just the Sith shelf now because Nihilus is back there and Revan is over here. I'm not taking them out of the boxes. Dooku, Palpatine, Grievous, Anakin, Maul. I like it. And there's some droids and some Darth Maul Mandalorians. And we're going to skip these two little ones real quick and go straight down. This is what I call the Disney era of Star Wars, which I know everybody's going to have their own opinions, especially with these set of films, but it's whatever. I enjoy them for what they are. I just had fun going out on Force Fridays and finding them all. It just reminded me of times when the prequels were out, buying toys. And then we have Rogue One and Solo, and that's about it for the Star Wars. Oh wait, I forgot about the little guys. It's always the little ones you forget about. This is my 3 3/4 inch Star Wars set. I used to have a ton of these when I was younger. I got rid of a lot of things since I was a kid, but I kind of missed having a bunch of Jedi, and since Hasbro has only given us literally a handful of Jedi, I had to go back to the 3 3/4 inch to get that fix of Jedi. There's quite a few in there. And that started like a month or two ago, so that's cool. And then, of course, this side there is the dark side of the Force. There's only 6 of them, and then some clones behind that. And that is my Star Wars shelf. And these are just your basic shelves from Walmart. So you can just go to Walmart and pick up a tall bookshelf. That's basically what these are. The lights I just ordered off Amazon. Moving along from Star Wars, we're going to come this way to the Dragon Ball display, and this is probably my favorite display in the entire room. Why? Because it's SH Figure Arts, so they are super duper posable. Top shelf is nothing too fancy, but I do have the Dragon Balls, of course, with Shenron, and the Tenkaichi Budokai World Tournament stage, and some miscellaneous figures that really didn't fit in the display below because 1, they're either not canon, or 2, they're not SH Figure Arts. Okay, the first shelf in the DTOF is Dragon Ball when Goku was a kid. And of course, I don't have every figure from each saga because some are actually kind of hard to get now. This line of figures really goes out of my price range quickly. They're already kind of out of my price range when they come out at retail, but they're so nice I just can't pass them up like that big monkey back there. Of course, that's the Saiyan Saga. And then working our way down from the Saiyan Saga is the Frieza Saga, which this shelf is pretty bare. Has the least amount of figures from the Dragon Ball shelves. But hopefully the Ginyu Force will fill it up soon, and this guy will be replaced by the Figure Arts version of it. Going down, we have the Android Cell Saga. Keep in mind, all of these are SH Figure Arts for the most part. And then this is my Buu Saga. Of course, I skipped the rest of this side because it is super themed, and there is Beerus and Whis eating their pizza.
It's a little greasy, but I could see it on the regular menu.
But this is the first shelf for Super. This is more like the movie stuff with Broly and then the gods. Then the next shelf down is Goku Black, Zamasu, and I like having all the different versions of him back there, even though that one is a Dragon Star. That is not a figure art. And then my Tournament of Power. It was very hard to get these guys like this. Even though they're not in the proper colors, I still love it. It's great. And that's the Dragon Ball display. And my Dragon Ball display is in the DTOFs next to my digital workstation here. If you're wondering, this is a drawing tablet. I can draw directly on the screen. It's connected to my computer and Adobe CC. And on the other side of that is my DC display in 2 more DTOFs. But above my computer here, I have some stuff. Leia and Chewbacca for Carrie Fisher and Peter Mayhew. And then the TB League Anubis. Got some gargoyles, some camera lenses. Sylvester as Batman, which is really great for me. And then the Mafex Hush Batman is up here with a little Yoda and a Pixar Cars Pizza Planet truck. And the shelf below that is really mostly for my camera gear, but I do have an autograph from Chris Sabat, Vegeta, and some Slipknot Funko Pops. I am a metalhead. And then I almost got Sean's autograph, the voice of Goku, but he was out sick during this con, so I did not get his autograph. And then I also have these Figure Arts Body Coon figures, which is basically to help you reference draw. Moving on from that is my DC shelf. Okay, in the top here is my Batman shelf. Really, this is the collection that started all of this. The DC Direct or DC Collectibles Arkham figures in particular is what started all this. It actually started with the Joker. However, this Joker is the new McFarlane version, but most of these are from the Arkham games, except for the Bat family here in the middle. And moving down from the Bat family Arkham shelf is the top 2 DTOF shelves, and on this side is the Batfleck, Ben Affleck DCEU Batman from the Justice League. There's actually a Dawn of Justice Mafex figure with the Aquaman from Justice League. Now I don't have very many of these Mafex figures, but there's space for them. On this side is the Dark Knight Mafex Batman figure and Mafex Joker. The Catwoman is also Mafex. The Bane, however, is just a Mattel figure, but it works. And this shelf is the Injustice SH Figure Arts line that Lex is DC Icons, but I just felt like Superman needed a villain in the shelf and it was kind of empty in here. I would, however, like to get the Storm Collectibles, Darkseid, Bane, Lobo, and Doomsday, put them in there as well. I think that might fill it out some more. And over here is a mix of figures. Most of them are DC Icons, except for Superman and Batman, which are the new Mafex figures, and they are some of my favorite figures to date now, but they scale really well with DC Icons. And then below that is my DC Universe Classics. Got the villains on this side and then the heroes over here. Now I came to DC Universe Classics in an odd way. It was kind of late, but not really. I bought a few Batman related figures when these were being released, but then I just quit buying them and really regretted it, because now there is just basically every character you could ever want from the DC universe as a toy, and now they're all kind of scattered about, hard to get. But it's also fun to go and hunt some of these now because nobody's really looking for them. I still like this line even with the articulation. Yeah, I think I might keep filling these up. And moving down from the DC Universe Classic figures is the McFarlane shelf, which is kind of merged with some other Arkham figures, but these are the different Earths. So you have Devastator back there, you have the Green Lantern version of Batman, the Grim Knight, and the Batman Who Laughs. But over here is some Arkham figures, and of course this is the Joker that started all of this collection. And moving on is my CW Arrowverse collection. The Dorbs back there are signed by Stephen Amell and Katie Lotz from the Arrow TV show, Black Canary and Green Arrow. Below all of that in the TV stand is every Batmobile I ever owned, and it's very hard to see them all. And I even got the Mattel version of the Justice League Batmobile.
I'm Batman.
And then moving on from the DC shelf here to this wall is my Marvel Legends. And the top shelf is my MCU collection. Those two shelves are also MCU right underneath. But this top one is basically one of everybody from the movies. And these are all hanging by a thumbtack and wire. Because there's so many, I just felt like some of them need to fly and clear up some ground space for the others. Some of you are probably asking, why is the Fox X-Men on the MCU shelf? And that is because, well, I have nowhere else to put them. And they are still Marvel movies, right? And I also have the Defenders, Punisher, Doctor Strange, Thor, and they're just on wire stands that I've made myself. Go to Lowe's, buy you some wire, and make your own. Because it's all about posing action figures, right? And below my main Marvel Universe shelf is some more. These are just all the extras, basically, that somehow ended up being the main core team, plus Black Panther and Spider-Man, and then that's where I ended up putting Venom. And the Rhino Wave Ghost Rider is in here because he looks like the Ghost Rider from the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, so I put it next to the car. And then, of course, Chadwick Boseman head. And then this side is all the villains from the MCU that I have, and that is an SH Figure Arts Thanos. Everything else is Marvel Legends. And then under all my MCU stuff is the comics. Spider-Man, X-Men, Avenger comics, and then villains, gods, and more Wolverine. Of course, I have the Jim Lee X-Men there in the middle. Bunch of Brotherhood, Deadpool drinking his coffee. Yeah, this shelf got full really, really fast. And then, of course, the Spider-Man shelf. There's a few of the Spider-Verse characters there in the middle with Peter Parker and MJ. And then a bunch of villains. Spider-Man villains are just as iconic to me as a Batman villain, so that's why there's so many of them. Both goblins. Yeah, I really need to replace that vulture though, so. And I need a lizard. Then down here is my comic Marvel Legends shelf with Stan the Man right there in the middle. Rest in peace, Stan Lee. Thank you for giving us all of this amazing stuff. You guys don't know how blessed we are to live in a time where you have over 20 Marvel movies and still are getting more. I don't know how people could complain so much. I think we are living in a golden age.
Excelsior.
And then, as I said before, this is the villain shelf, pretty much, with the villains there in the middle. And then all the gods. And then some more Wolverines. There's so many Wolverines. And then that is an SH Figure Arts Hulk from the Age of Ultron movie. That is the Marvel shelf, which is pretty much the end of the collection. I am going to show a little bit of the stuff here. And then everything on the banister is pretty much a bunch of random miscellaneous stuff. Things that wouldn't fit normally in the rest of the collection, but also things that I have collected through my entire life, basically. And a lot of little knickknacks and different things that people have given me. And of course, there is every single Pokemon, just about, not everyone, from the first generation of Pokemon, from Bulbasaur to Mew. This is everybody I have. I'm also currently working on this Batcave. It is the Dawn of Justice Batman Batcave, but I'm going to paint it so it doesn't look so childlike. And then over here is our very, very, very small but awesome Lego collection. We have the Winnie the Pooh house, Scooby and the Mystery Machine, quite a few Batman minifigs, the Big Bang Theory house, the apartment, which we love Big Bang Theory here. And of course, there's some Star Wars. And then there is the Hulkbuster. And one of my favorites right here, Sesame Street. I think that about wraps it up for this tour of my collection. So thanks again. If you liked the video, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Also hit that bell icon down below so you will be notified when I post new content. And follow me on Instagram at Pakman502 and tag me in photos of your collection with the hashtag PakNerd so I can see pictures of your collection. Until next time, may the force be with you. Pakman out.